I know. Right.
Jimmy, you hear that?
What's that?
This is the last batch of Papa's green beans.
Oh, Lisa.
Yeah.
I met Ken and Lisa Abraham in 2012. Since that very day, they've invited me to every Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and birthday dinner at their home. Lisa is an extraordinary cook. No matter what the entree, there's always a side of green beans. On December 25th, 2020, Lisa announced, "These are my dad's last batch of green beans." Lisa's dad, Mr. Harold Bailey, passed away 3 months prior on September 22nd, 2020. Mr. Bailey was a gardener. He planted, nurtured, and harvested green beans by hand. He'd give Lisa a stockpile of green beans when she visited him in West Virginia. Lisa shared those green beans with her family and friends at every meal. Lisa always gave me a to-go plate. When I returned home that night and was getting ready to store the plate of food in the refrigerator for the following day, I decided to scoot the green beans off the plate into a plastic container and store them in the freezer. I wanted to do something very special with those green beans, something to commemorate Mr. Bailey, something that required thought, time, and patience. In November 2023, Ken asked if I was coming to Lisa's birthday party on December 9th. I pondered what to get Lisa for her birthday, and then I had an idea. I made a trip to Hobby Lobby and purchased a candle holder mold, 4 electric candles, stir sticks, mixing cups, and resin mix. Have you ever been to a Hobby Lobby? Unbelievable. I mean, they have absolutely everything in this one store. It is. It's just, you could spend all day here. It's like a museum. Speaking of museums, they have the Bible Museum in Washington, D.C. I mean, it even has fruit. Want a bird? They have a bird. Want a bird nest? They have a bird nest. And you want eggs? They have eggs. So I'm going to try to find some craft material because I'm making something. I ordered a food dehydrator and practiced on it several weeks with apples, bananas, strawberries, and canned green beans. I only had a few of Mr. Bailey's green beans, and I had to make absolutely sure I dehydrated them correctly. I dehydrated all of Mr. Bailey's green beans 1 hour on the lowest temperature. I removed the smaller green beans and dehydrated the larger green beans 30 more minutes. I allowed the green beans to sit for several days just to make sure they were completely dehydrated. I then sprayed each green bean with Mod Podge, a waterproof sealant. I allowed the green beans to dry 24 hours. I trimmed some of the green bean pods and made petals. I placed the petals around a green bean seed and created a flower and stem. I did this before pouring the resin so I would know exactly what I wanted to place in the resin and how big or small it should be. After I leveled the candle holder mold, I slowly mixed and poured the first layer of resin. If you mix and pour the resin too fast, it will create bubbles. I covered the candle holder mold with a cardboard box to keep out dust and debris and allowed the resin to sit 24 hours. Once the first layer of resin gelled, I carefully placed Mr. Bailey's green beans on top of the resin and allowed them to sit for approximately 7 hours. I carefully touched the green beans and checked for stability to make sure the first layer of resin was sturdy enough to hold the green beans and the second layer of resin. I slowly mixed and poured the second layer of resin and allowed it to sit for approximately 7 days. This time frame allowed both layers of resin to mend and set.
Almost heaven, West Virginia.
What do you think it is, Stella? A dog?
Hey, good fun.
Okay, so now open the card.
Cool looking.
Okay.
Comes with instructions, Stella.
Okay. Well, don't touch it. Don't touch it. 'Cause I don't know what it is. We got some.
Oh,
brown-
these two you gotta go with that too.
Okay. Do I open that first?
You can. Yeah. Okay, now it makes
Big
sense.
candles.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, JW. Happy 60th, Lisa. In 2021, you served the best.
The last.
Batch.
The last. Jimmy. The last batch of your dad's green beans to us. I saved a few of those beans from my plate, and 2 years later, I put them in a candle holder I made for you.
Man.
May his memory live on.
Look at that. Papa's green beans. No, that is cool.
Goodness.
That is really. That's pretty amazing.
Wow.
Thank you.
This one's not dry yet, so you gotta leave this in the bag for 2 days.
Oh my goodness.
Really neat.
That is just so sweet. That's the most incredible gift.
And then you just push them in here.
Is that wrong?
No.
You gotta push them
Jimmy
in there.
made
'cause it's
Lisa a
sweet.
present.
You were trying to help her up
Yeah.
or something.
No.
Oh my goodness.
And then
It's,
twist them.
It's the last batch of her dad's
And they'll
green
go all the way
beans
down there.
she served Jimmy in 2021. And he saved some.
Jimmy,
and
how
made
did you make
a
that?
candle holder out of it.
Resin.
Oh my gosh,
Is it-
resin?
Make me want to boo-hoo.
Me too.
You're welcome. This thing stayed in my freezer for a while.
What is this part?
Oh, that's just the...
That was part of the
Thank you, Ray.
Yeah,
That's
you're
really
welcome,
special.
Ken. You're very welcome, buddy. Replanting Mr. Bailey's green beans was a real honor. I'm glad they'll be a part of every meal once again.